Alright guys, welcome back to the Leaky John Boat Company. Today we're doing something a little bit different. We have our old John boat here. It's a 1032 and we are going to be replacing the transom in it. And I'm also going to be doing some other mods to it. It's going to be very lightweight and just kind of a truck bed boat. It's definitely not going to be on a trailer. It's not going to be all fancy. So if you guys are looking for like a bass boat, John boat conversion, this is not the video for you guys. I can find some stuff and put it in my description below, but I know Tiny Boat Nation and those guys, they do a really solid job of making like a boat like this. Like it'll have a deck on it and it'll have crazy fish finders and all sorts of crazy stuff. This is not the case. We are going to be making this thing the lightest possible boat that you can have. It's going to live in the bed of my truck for the summertime, the fall. I'm going to be hunting out of it. We might take it to the Outer Banks and do some sound fishing on it, but definitely not like a bass boat type deal. It's just going to be like a kayak, kind of like a one person, two person. It's going to have oars. It might have a gas motor sometimes, but most of the time it's just going to be a trolling motor. And one of the biggest things I'm going to do is I'm going to put a winch on the front. The winch on the front's going to go right here so I can take it in and out of creek beds that don't really have access, and I can drag it up to my truck. That's going to be like the biggest thing. No deck. I might put some storage in here and in here, but the first thing I'm going to do is replace this transom. It's obviously rotted out and just disgusting. There's the back piece is gone now, so we're going to replace that in this video. I'm really just going to get it cleaned up for now, and then we are going to start on the transom. Alright guys, I'm going to start by drilling all these rivets out right here, here, and underneath, so we can pop this little piece of metal out, and that should allow for this to fall down. I think I have to drill a couple rivets out that hold the handles on, and this piece should fall right out, and then we're just going to pop these rivets out, do the same thing, drill them, and then we can replace that piece of wood back there too. So let's get started.
Been at it already, had my tarot read. Things are looking up for me, that's what my tarot said. Been pumping out pheromones and wearing red. Young Jerry Lolliver king, but they're not aware of it. $40 to show money, that's what they stole from me. Blow it all bowling, guess I roll funny. Go find me a snow bunny.
Alright guys, we're back in the shop. I had a little bit of a camera malfunction when it came to getting the transom out. But I popped the transom out. I just had to take a couple more rivets, and I used the screwdriver just kind of pop it out, and it fell right out. So the transom right here is just old and disgusting. It kind of broke in half a little bit when I pulled it out. But we got our new transom wood. It's a 1/2-inch piece of plywood. It's treated, and it's been sitting outside for like a year, which at first I wasn't going to use it, but doing some research, sitting outside in the sun and the rain and stuff like that kind of washes off some of the heat treat chemicals. So that's going to help us out a lot when it comes to corrosion on the boat. We shouldn't have as much of a problem as like corroding that thin piece of aluminum on the back. So it's a little wet right now, but we're going to get these two pieces cut out. I have to cut out two pieces because this is only a 1/2 inch thick and this is 1 inch thick. So we're going to cut out two pieces.
Me ask if this cold world's making her nose runny, she melted. I wear a cape that is velvet, couldn't see it, she felt it. See it all like I'm Elvis, move my hips like I'm Elvis. I don't pitch it, I sell it, couldn't picture me jealous. Turning fans into zealots, tuning in when I tell it. There were 15 people at the gig, saying oh my god what fun this is. Did it all, did it right, did it big. Yeah buddy, we were loving it. New cards, new deck, new life. King of Cups, he comes up right. Always.
Alright guys, I got the two pieces of wood in here. They kind of set just how I wanted to. I'm a little shy on the edges, but I can adjust that a little bit. I'm going to have a little bit of a gap, but they do go up into the top of this and they fit pretty freaking good. I mean, I don't think I have any gap in. They're kind of wedged up in there. But we're going to paint the John boat. We're going to seal the transom before we get anything actually installed. We're probably going to bolt it on. Alright guys, we're back and I got the John boat painted up. This is a Duralux Dead Grass Green and it kind of turned out a little bit browner than I thought it would, but I like the color a lot and I think it's going to go great with the sea deck that I have for the benches. But we got the transom painted up too. This is the back piece. I just did black on this. To start with the transom, I painted it with like a paint and primer. I put a few different coats on there. I did coat it with like a clear coat first, and I didn't like the looks of it, so I just ended up spraying it a bunch of times with a couple cans of old paint and primer that I had just to really seal it up. And then on the showing part, on the back, on the front, it's going to be all black, which is a nice color to go with the brown and the sea deck. But we're going to get started, and to start this, we're just going to glue all the wood together and C-clamp it onto the transom. And that's going to help us just be really secure and waterproof. And then we will drill the holes and put these stainless bolts and washers on, and that's really going to hold it together. So the glue necessary to keep it waterproof, in my opinion, and then these bolts are really just going to hold it together, and it's going to last for a long time.
Blue moon, tune in tonight. Put you in that mood you like. Spirit moving, now loosen you up. You don't care, who cares? Look at you now, it's magic. Filling up glasses, looking like an actress. Ay, you just wanna listen to a classic, bouncing like a mattress. Man, I'm out of practice. Ay, sick of how slow just living's been. Hard to get right, being limited.
Alright guys, so we're going to start drilling our holes, and the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to put some self-tappers in the top here, right where the holes already are, and then I'm going to put them in the corners here just to hold this while I'm drilling the holes, because I'm C-clamped on there, but I don't really want it to move any. So we're going to do that first, and then we're going to start drilling the holes for the big bolts.
You just wanna go where the rhythm is, be in the crowd uninhibited. You can't lay low, so follow me, I obey. So I'll probably wake up holding.
And that's going to hold our transom really into place for now while we do these bigger holes. And I might even go on the back side and put a couple of these self-tappers in some holes that are already there just to hold it in, and it's not going to hurt to keep that from water getting in later either.
But I know what I get. So showstopper, go knock 'em out. You've been like champagne.
Now we can go ahead with our big bolts. We're going to put one pretty much in each corner. That's really going to hold it down good. And that's exactly what I didn't want to happen. The transom splitting apart like that. But we'll fill it in, and we will get a washer on both sides. And then we're going to paint over this again probably. Take our bolt. There's all sorts of silicone on there. What I'm doing here is taking silicone and putting it in the bolt by the washer, so that when we seal that up, it's just be nice and watertight. We'll take another washer, put on the other side, and the nut. And we're going to fill this hole in too. Squeeze some into each side of the hole. Even though most of it gets pushed out, there's still going to be a little bit just kind of around the edges to keep it super watertight. And that should be just perfect. And it pushes it all through. So on this side we're going to have lots of silicone, but that's super important, guys, for the transom. You don't want water getting through there and rotting that transom away sooner than it has to.
Shook up for days. Showstopper can't lock you down. Go get loose like you used to do. 60 odd hours a week on the wheel. I know you do it, but how do you deal? I see how all of it's making you feel. Let's move to Finland, I think I'm for real. Let's go, let's go, let's go. First we need a drink.
Alright guys, I got the wheels. These are on Amazon for like 40 or 50 bucks, and these things are freaking sweet. They're a lot bigger than I thought, and they're not really a like a tire with like air in them. These are just like a hard plastic. And I thought they'd come in like have like an inner tube in them or something, but they're just super hard like rubber maybe. There's nowhere to put air in them, and I don't think they're like sealed, but they have, you can feel that there's air in them. Either way, they're perfect. They're gonna make transporting this thing so much easier. So I'm super excited to put these on. The first thing I'm gonna do is take this silicone and just kind of squeeze it all around there. I already put some in the holes, and it's kind of dried already a little bit. But we're just going to make sure there's enough on there, and we're going to cover up these holes right here. These should be above the water line, so I'm not super concerned about them. These two bottom ones could be a problem in the future. But we're going to put plenty of silicone around the holes. And like I said before, I already filled them in, so like it's against the wood and everything.
In a resto, 2 shots now, you caught your wave. Moonwalk, yeah, you got your stage. I know you've been working for what you already purchased. Concerned that it wasn't worth it. If it won't serve you, don't serve it, okay? That's really all I'll say. If I had it all, I'd pay. Sick of selling all these days, sick of it in all these ways. And we don't got a lot, but for now, let's spend some. Hey, showstopper, go knock 'em out. You've been like champagne that shook up for days.
The wheels are on, and that is just pretty freaking slick to me, guys. I am super excited about this. We're gonna get this all cleaned up. I'm gonna sweep it out, kind of maybe put some more silicone on the bolts, but this thing is pretty much ready for action. We're going to do the C deck next. It's just going to be on this bench, that bench, and maybe on the front if I have enough left over. It's just a little bit of C deck, but looking pretty good so far, guys. Alright guys, I got the C deck, and it came already cut to the width I wanted it. I got it on Amazon. I think it was like $30 or $40 for this roll. It was long enough for both benches, and it was cut already 16 inches wide, which is perfect for this boat. So I had to cut the length, and then I cut the corners a little bit with some scissors. It's pretty super easy stuff to cut with scissors or a knife or whatever you have laying around. But we're just gonna get this installed, and we're gonna see how it looks.
Stopper can't lock you down. Go get loose like you used to do.
Alright guys, well it's a little wider than I expected, and it's actually sticking over the edge like ½ an inch, so I'm going to cut that down with a razor knife. I already took the adhesive backing off, so that's stuck on there. I'm probably going to self-tap the corners down just because it wants to roll up, because it was rolled up when I got it in the mail, so it just kind of has a tendency to roll back up. I'm just going to self-tap the corners down. Not very a very good looking thing to do, but I don't really care because it's on the little John boat. But we're going to self-tap the corners down, and then I'm going to slice this section off, and then we'll get the back seat done too, guys.
Hey, let's call your boss and say you've had your fill. And if he won't play ball, then that team might spill. Yeah, I know that you can't go. Still feels good having ammo. Still feels good just to plan though. But let me just shut up and dance so. Hey, showstopper, go knock 'em out. You've been like champagne that shook up for days. Showstopper can't lock you down.
Alright guys, that wraps it up for this video. The next time I see you guys, I will be on the water, probably fishing in this thing, trying to catch some smallies or some bass or something crazy. But that wraps it up. I got the C deck. I got it bolted down on both sides with self-tappers, and I did the same thing over here as I cut this. But it looks like it's going to work out pretty well. The adhesive should stick pretty freaking good, so not super worried about the looks of it, but it looks pretty clean to me. I have plans to put a gas outboard on here So we're gonna see how that goes. I'm getting that fixed right now, and if not, I'll just have a trolling motor on there, which is also perfectly fine. But yeah, the next time I see you guys, I will be fishing. And remember, guys, like the video if you guys like the video, and subscribe to the channel. We're almost at 250 subscribers. I'm super pumped right now. But the fishing season's coming in hot right now. We're gonna be doing some fishing soon. So we're gonna be on this boat, and we're gonna be on that boat, and then we're gonna be on the river waiting as well. So smallie fishing's coming up, guys. Remember, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks, guys.
Go get loose like you used to do.